What made Elvis Presley's heart soar? Which tunes did the king of rock and roll hold closest to his heart? Did the music he loved the most align with the hits that rocketed him to stardom? The answers to these questions may surprise you. It was a balmy day in Memphis when George Klein, one of Elvis's oldest friends, shared an insight into the music that moved Elvis the most. They had met in the 8th grade and maintained a friendship that lasted until Elvis's untimely death. He loved the big voices George shared. He loved the raw emotion that you could feel in gospel music. Even when he was topping the charts with rock and roll, he would come back to his Graceland, and the music he would put on was gospel. Indeed, Elvis himself had often mentioned his love for gospel music in interviews. It was a genre he grew up with, being raised in the Assembly of God church where the rich, passionate tones of gospel music were a staple. The influence of this music could be heard in his own, as he injected that same passion and raw emotion into his rock and roll, shaking up the music scene forever. DJ Fontana, the drummer who accompanied Elvis during his meteoric rise to fame, further illuminates Elvis's love for gospel music. Between sets, Fontana recalled, Elvis often retreated to his dressing room with a few members of the band and the Jordanaires. They'd pass the time by singing gospel songs. The music that Elvis loved was the music he returned to time and time again in the quiet moments, between the hectic performances and demanding tours. Elvis's love for gospel music was more than just an appreciation. It was a deeply personal affection rooted in his upbringing and interwoven with his beliefs. His longtime girlfriend, Linda Thompson, once recalled, Elvis loved the spiritual aspect of gospel music. He found solace in the melodies and lyrics that uplifted his spirit during the most challenging periods of his life. And of course, who could forget the well-known favorites that Elvis often belted out during his live performances? Scotty Moore, Elvis's first guitarist, remembered Elvis had a particular fondness for Blue Moon. He could sing that song over and over again. He felt connected to it in a way that was palpable every time he performed it. Elvis's musical preferences were as multifaceted as the man himself. He may have been the king of rock and roll, but the music that touched him the most came from a place of spiritual depth and personal resonance. Gospel and blues held a special place in his heart, serving as the foundation on which he built his remarkable career. They were the music he loved, the music he returned to, the music that fed his soul. As the spotlight dimmed and the crowd's cheers faded into the night, the music that remained was the music that Elvis Presley truly loved.